Thanks so much, Melissa. Reid, thanks so much for joining me here in Sun Valley. I want to start off with a topic that I'm hearing a lot of conversation about, which is the AI talent war. We've heard how Meta and OpenAI are in this AI talent war. They're competing with Microsoft, which you're on the board of, along with Apple and Amazon and Google for AI talent, and also just competing in this AI race in general. Which of these companies do you think is best positioned to win the AI race?
Well, I think the good thing about the AI race is I think there will be a lot of winners, both of startups and large companies. Now, the talent race to your average American looks crazy. The amount of money you're paying individuals in order to do this. But if you think about, if you invent the thing that essentially, for example, in my own startup, Manus, is trying to cure cancer, that transforms industries. And if you think this individual is the one to do it, then it begins to get more economic rational. So now in that competition, what I think we're going to see is I actually think the majority of them will win some. The question is which ones win more and which ones win less.
There's been so much money poured into the giant startups like OpenAI, no longer a startup, as well as the amount that's being spent on AI by the tech giants. Is it possible for true startups to compete now in this AI competition?
I think it's relatively straightforward. Now, I say that, of course, as a venture capitalist who's doing these kinds of investments. But I think, look, I'm going to build a $50 billion computer in order to compete on a frontier model. That's challenging for a startup. I'm not sure if there's room for any startup to possibly do that now. However, applications and also going into different areas like, cancer discovery, or going into, kind of like, oh, I'm going to do this education thing. They're all focused on coding. I'm going to do this. And that kind of getting integrated into the workflow process, doing new kind of consumer apps, those kinds of things, still lots of room for.
You mentioned Manus AI, the AI health tech company you founded. You've also invested in another AI health company. How focused are you on AI and health right now, and will we see other investments in this space? Which companies are you disrupting with these startups?
I don't necessarily think disruption, although maybe it'll happen. It's either trying to seek to do so or seeking not to do so. In the case of Manus AI, the idea is to create a kind of a drug discovery engine that creates many more molecules that could then be, because cancer is not one cancer thing, there's lots and lots of different forms of cancer, and how do you attack each one in the right way that kills the cancer but doesn't kill the patient? That's the challenge. And so, obviously that'll have huge pharma implications, but we might very well be partnering with pharma companies. That's part of the reason I was like, well, I'm not clear that we're not amplifying versus disrupting. The other one is ultrasound and using AI to figure out exactly how to get very low frequency ultrasound to the exact right place in the brain. And the thing that's amazing about this, and AI is what unlocks it because you're getting this very low energy into just right refraction through the skull, is that it creates a new tool where the only tools we have currently on brain things are very blunt. They're pharmacological, or they're like, TMS stimulation. It's like a boom, as opposed to, oh, let's just touch this very gently. And surgery, obviously, being its own huge issue. And that's part of the reason I invested in it.
Very interesting. Now, you, shifting gears, have been one of the biggest individual donors to the Democratic Party, and we just heard that Elon Musk is starting his own political party. Sam Altman, who you've been close with over the years, explained to me why he feels politically homeless. What are you seeing right now in terms of the political landscape? What do you think of Elon Musk's new party?
Well, I'm very sympathetic to the core cause, which is don't try to add so much to the deficit that you'll add 2.4 trillion of the deficit by, I think it's 2034, right? And so, don't do that. Precisely kind of the question is one of the biggest line items in the federal budget today is the debt service, is the interest rate, is the credit card payment we're paying on debt. So I'm very sympathetic to the cause. The third party is something that, has been tried a number of times and dies all over the place. I mean, some of us are old enough to remember Ross Perot and other vectors of doing it. And so it doesn't strike me as necessarily the best strategy for that. But I think it's important to try to focus on the debt.
And final question, are you seeing more folks in the tech ecosystem leave allegiances with the Trump administration now that Elon Musk has broken up with the Trump administration?
I see more hesitancy about the Trump administration. I don't think it's because of Elon. I think it's because of the tariff policy and the instability and volatility around business.
Well, we're certainly watching that tariff policy. Unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there. We're out of time.
Good.
Thanks so much for joining us here in Sun Valley. Reid, Hoffman, Melissa, and guys, back over to you.